Now watch this come together as we create the whole volume of this space. So let's say that these walls are a standard 8 foot 1 inch. I'm going to measure up each one of these corners to 8 feet. But I'm just going to draw some guides lightly so I have a measuring line. Now this is just a reminder. Remember when you're drawing, put your lead down first, right there where you want it to be. Then move your triangle up to the lead and then pull up. Once, if you try to get your triangle right on that marker line, it's hard because there's a little shadow line on there. So sometimes you're not right on. But if you put your lead right on the mark and then take your triangle to it, it's so much more accurate. So I really only have to measure this out twice. I'm using this, I'm drawing this in 1/4 inch scale. So I'm going to make an 8 feet mark on that line. And I'll come over here and make an 8 foot mark here. So if I take my triangle and my T-square, lay my lead down, bring my triangle, and this is creating the ceiling line. Getting a little heavy-handed on the ceiling line. Remember, you want these light to be light guidelines. So now you can see the volume of the space. Let's take a look at our floor plan again. Go from the biggest areas to the smallest areas, or the biggest items to the smallest items. So this is actually a double shower. These represent like a 12-inch rain dome on either side. There are no doors. This is just a walk-in, no thresh, universal design shower. So it's 4 feet deep. So let's lay out this wall here. So we need to put the footprint of the wall in first, and then we look to see what's the size of that opening, which is 6 feet. So they're 3 foot wing walls. All right, let's go to our plan view. This should be all reminiscent to your Zen meditation space, but we have no angled walls in this, so it's so much easier. So if I'm looking at my footprint, let me just show you this one more time. And my footprint is laying this way. So this is the bottom 2 walls on the floor plan. I want to measure 4 feet in right here. So with my 1/4 inch scale, I'll make a 4 foot tick mark. And while I'm here, I know that that wing wall is 6 inches. And I'm using 6 inches for the depth of that wall because it's easier to draw it that way and explain for this demonstration, but an interior wall standard width depth would be 4 inches. So all I have to do is mark that once, because when I bring my triangle over, remembering that these are just guidelines, I'm going to go up and across very light. So this is where my wing walls will be placed. But remember, we have a 6 foot opening. correct? So I'm going to measure on both sides 3 feet. Here's the 3-foot mark. And I'm going to go over here to this end. And I'm going to measure 3 foot in here. Now I don't have to measure the inside and the outside wall. All I have to do is come over here and take my triangle, my 30-60, and make the edge of that wall. Now I made that a little bit darker to show you, but again, when you're doing this, do everything in guidelines because then it saves time because there's less erasing. Now this is where the fun begins. I need to actually create these walls from the floor guidelines. So I'm just going to come over here and you can see I've already drawn. So I've taken the edge of this wall, or the corner, and I've just gone all the way up. Now this wall is going to go all the way to the ceiling. And where's my ceiling line? Right here. And if I go on the other side of the wall and I go up to the ceiling line, it's right there. So I know that those are my ceiling lines where I've put those little dots so that you can see that very well. Let's go over to the other side and draw the guidelines for these walls all the way up. Now I'm just going to take these right up to the ceiling line because I know that's where they're going to go. So I took them right up